Okay, so this is an apology for not making a video in 3 weeks. I'm going to say the basics. Okay, so basically I had an audition, I was sick, I had a competition, and then the next week I just wasn't motivated. And then I had spring break, I was going to make a video, and then I go on a last minute vacation and didn't have internet, and I forgot my camera. So sound lame, I know. But I'm back, and I'm better than ever, and I will be making this video. And this video is my reader confessions, and I'm going to tell you, whoever may be viewing this, super bad habits I have as a reader. And don't judge me on this. And I'm also going to say what series or books or popular things that I don't really care for. So this should be interesting. Let's see how I go on this, because I'm probably going to get really worked up at one thing, because I can see it happening now. Okay, so first, the habits. I have a really bad habit of doing bunny ears. It's really bad, and I know I should stop, because I know that I'm not supposed to do that, because I'm a reader. But I do it, and a lot of people do it. And for me, it depends on the book. If it's like a Harry Potter book, I'm not going to do the bunny ears. If it's like a John Green book, then I am going to do bunny ears. No offense to John Green. No offense to him. His books aren't Harry Potter level. They're more of like, what would be a good comparison to that? I don't know. They're like mid-level, and then there's like the Divergent series. I also have this habit of spilling drink on my books. And it's not, I've done it a few times. Like, I'll be like drinking a water, and then like a drop will spill in the book. And I'm not like my sister who spills coffee, lemonade, soda, leaving in the rain, all that fun stuff to my books. What other nasty things do I do? Reading. I don't use bookmarks. I mean, occasionally I do. I find them unnecessary. I'm just gonna use this piece of paper. It's cheaper. I'm just gonna rip a piece of paper off this binder and use it as a bookmark. I don't need some fancy bookmark that I'll lose in like 2 days. And I also always lose the covers for hardcover books. I don't know why I always lose the little flappy thing. I don't know the name. The paper book cover, yeah, that thing. I always lose it. And I don't know why. Because like, for my Percy Jackson books, there's not a single book that has their cover. Except for Blood of Olympus. But that's the only book that I have that actually has its cover. And that's ridiculous. Like, I love that series, but I don't have the covers. But I have the Harry Potter books in hardcover. I got them for Easter, and I'll definitely keep those covers because, oh my goodness gracious, they're so pretty! They're really pretty! Bam. I lose the covers a lot. Like, I lost The Fault in Our Stars cover. I lost Fangirl. I lost most of the Percy Jackson ones. I'm looking at my bookshelf right now, if that's what you're wondering what I'm doing. Yeah, that's about it. But I have a lot of paperback. I don't have a lot of hardcover. I'll probably end up losing All the Bright Places. I'll lose that one soon, because I'm reading it right now. And I'll eventually lose Eleanor and Park. And that's about it of the covers I've lost. But yeah, I do that a lot. And it's not the best thing to do, but I do it anyways. I always end up losing them because at first I use it as a bookmark, but then it gets to a part in the book where it's like awkward to keep the like flap as like bookmark, so I take it off and then I end up losing it. I probably shouldn't, but I do, so don't judge me, okay? And now the part where people might get mad at me. I don't like The Fault in Our Stars. Let me just put it off like that. I don't like the series. Book. liked it when I first read it. And that was in January of when the movie was going to be released that year. I forget when that was. I was in either 8th or 7th grade. Whichever one. I liked it. And I got all my friends to read it. And I saw the movie. And then I bought the DVD. But now that I look back at it, it's really overrated. And it's really annoying how, like, people, like, freak out over it. And just like, chill, okay? Let's just calm down. It's okay. You don't have to mention you cry about this every day. Also, I don't like the Warner instruments. I'm gonna go over here. I don't like the series. And it's mainly because I don't like the writing style. I'm someone who loves third person. I love third person books. I love them and I cherish them. And when I find a third person book, I like hug it because it's in third person, people. It's third person. You know how rare that is to find a good third person book because either they don't sound feminine enough, they don't sound masculine enough, they sound like this bland character. It's so hard to find third person books. And I realized it was third person and I got so excited, but I got so bored in this book. It might be because it was the first book, but I don't want to give the other books a chance. And that's horrible. But I can't give them a chance. And I saw the movie and I didn't like it. And the TV show doesn't satisfy me. I'm not into the whole, like, demon thing. Which is ironic because I love the beautiful creatures. That's really ironic, I know. Oh, that's the other cover I lost. Beautiful Creatures. Beautiful Redemption. Yeah, I lost that cover. And what's the other series? Oh, I don't like Divergent. I saw the first... I read the first book. I read it. And I loved it. I loved it so much. I loved the idea of it. I loved the way it was presented. But I didn't like the writing style. But then I read the second one. I'm like, And then I read the third one. I was like, this is cringy. Like, ugh. It just, like, the thing about it was, when I read Allegiant, there wasn't a definite different voice of when Tobias was speaking. There wasn't a definite voice when Triss was speaking. And that bugged me, because I feel like you should make an obvious change. Not in, like, writing, but in, like, voice. Because it still sounded like, I know that Veronica Roth is a girl. But it sounded like Tobias was a girl when she was writing his point of view, and you need to make that change in character when you're writing in a male perspective. Another thing is, I didn't like the sentence structure or the way things were phrased. There were a lot of repetitive things that happened. There were a lot of things that, like, sentences that would be used like 2 pages later, and it's like, hey, you just used this. Don't repeat your sentences, okay? For anyone who's going to be a writer. And I'm doing this, my advice to mix up your sentences, do compound sentences, do complex sentences, do something other than I sat down, I smiled at him, I blushed. No, you gotta do some, like, complex sentences, okay? It makes the book better and more challenging. Also, use better vocabulary. I gotta work on the vocabulary stuff. And the other series I don't like is Twilight. My mom loves it. She loves it so much, but I can't stand it. I read the first book, and I read it within a day. Well, actually, it took me 2 days, but it took me like 3 hours altogether. Like, I didn't read it for a long period of time. I, like, split it up in half. It took me like 3 hours altogether. And I didn't like it. I didn't like how the sentences were written, and my mom's even agreed with it. She goes, if I read Harry Potter, Twilight's going to be ruined for me because I know that it's going to be written way better. And I started the second one, and I couldn't get past the first chapter because something about it was bugging me. I didn't like how some things were written. I didn't like the voice of Bella. I also didn't care for the wording of it. Like I said, I'm very picky when it comes to books. It has to have the right writing style or I can't get through with it. But that's about all the books that I don't like that are popular. I mean, I can't really hope that I don't like a book. It just doesn't meet my needs. I mean, I could give other books a try, but I'm very stubborn. That's another thing. I don't want to read the Mortal Instruments because there's a fan that was very rude to me. It kind of pushed me away from the fandom. And people are like, give it a chance. Don't let a fan base it off that. I'm like, but I don't want to be part of that fandom. If that makes any sense. That's why I left the Teen Wolf fandom. But, that's all. And I will be making videos more frequently. And I will also be wearing glasses from now on in videos because I have anti-glare glasses and they don't reflect on the light. So that's nice. So until next time, I will be making a video probably later this week. And I will be basing it on confessions again, but with a different topics within it. So, ta-ta, and I hope you have or had or going to have a nice spring break.